Yeah, Daniel here again with the latest update to ProxCtrlJ, my little Java project. And what I wanted to show in this thing is that there's been quite a few changes since my last update, something that I've been working on for a while. But I think the main thing that I want to point out is that it's been a while since I've actually worked on it. Mainly because I was spending too many late nights getting stuck into the coding and getting carried away and not actually getting enough sleep. So I took a bit of a hiatus away from it, but I thought I'd still wanted to showcase some of the work that I've been doing with this software and this little project because there has been quite a few changes I think since my last video. The first probably thing is that the look and feel has changed. I was mucking a lot around the look and feel theming in Java applications and tested quite a few different scenarios out, and I did find that I found one that sort of closely matches the the Proxmox interface, and it's sort of theming. So you can see like the font is a little bit easier to read and matches a bit more of that aesthetic and font style, as well as like in the selection, it comes default with the orange theme, which kind of matches the Proxmox color palette a little bit more, and I think it just looks a whole lot better. And you might have noticed I've got a whole lot less VMs than I do in my last video. That's because I've actually built a new server and got rid of a lot of the old VMs that I had running on there, mainly that I wasn't using them. And second is that, uh, yeah, I didn't have a lot of new space on my new rig. It was more about processing than and power consumption than anything else. But as we look across the tabs, I've actually been able to sort of build out not just a list of the things, but actually get them formatted into tables, which makes it a lot easier to read and sort out. Um, when I say sorting, I mean the columns don't actually sort themselves, but I think it's a lot easier to read than just pages of text broken up by lines and stuff like that. Whereas like we're actually getting nice readable and expanding columns in that aspect as well. I mean, it's not perfect, but I think it's a lot easier to sort out in this view, and I can also see thing. Obviously, one of the main constraints is that there's no bar down the bottom here in the case that like if I do expand that out, but it doesn't really go beyond the pane here. And one thing I did bring back that I took out at some stage as well as the update count. I was actually getting that working as well. So yeah, we can actually see a list of updates. I've got a few updates ready to go there, but it sort of demonstrates what we're doing here as well. So beyond that, like there's still a bit more work to go here that I want to fix up. A lot of the code is getting very messy now. Like I'm getting lost amongst my own code, and I don't know what connects to what, especially when it comes to the actual VM itself window. So in my last one, it was simply just a button that had open console and not much else. Whereas I've actually built out a little bit more detail in here that it reads from that virtual machine and has a little icon. Obviously, still has the running status, but I've added VMware IDs, VM IDs, uptime, OS type, and all that. Because what I was playing with there is I was going to have this icon change and update based on the OS type. So if it was a Windows one, have a Windows icon. If it was Linux, have a Linux icon, and that kind of thing. The other problem that I faced with the button for the VNC console was that in order to have that sort of launch, I can't remember if I did this in the previous one or not, but I needed to actually have a web server to display um, the HTTP VNC in a window, whereas now I've sort of changed that to be launching into its own um, into your own default browser essentially, and that would load. But obviously, I've got more issues around just general ticketing and authentication with it. Plan to work on that later, but I've moved that button into a drop down menu and because I actually plan to turn this into a bit of a toolbar instead, rather than just have the buttons here. Whether that's more or less intuitive, I'm not sure yet, but that's sort of, I changed that a little bit more as well. Obviously, these buttons don't do anything; they're just placeholders for now. But obviously, I want to look at doing that. Another part was probably maybe bringing up some of the task lists and logs and backup statuses and stuff like that in this window as well, based on each VM. But yeah, you can see exactly that we are getting different responses from those. Still don't have containers displaying in this at the moment. Some of these don't launch for some reason, and I've still got to work that out. But yeah, there's been no really further updates on any of this. It does look a bit different, a bit better based on the new theming, but yeah, none of this still doesn't work. These are all just placeholders, and I've still got to build out the create CT stuff. That's all still blank. Settings window, still not much availability there. And yeah, I've actually updated to the version count as well. So yeah, that's what I've been working on, and like I'm proud of that little bit of effort in terms of what I've been working on. But yeah, still nowhere near functional or usable. But yeah, it's been a journey. And yeah, thanks for watching. Please leave a comment or a like, and tell me how I can make this better, and if you have any ideas, or even if you would use it if it became live. Currently, my GitHub is private, but if there is enough attention and enough interest in this little project, then yeah, maybe I'll make it public and get people to help me with it. Yeah. All right. Take care.